And then he says, وَفَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ. This is one of the most important things here. Is now I want to mention is that, alhamdulillah, we need to learn, for our basic knowledge, we need to learn our what called Farad Ayn. Most of us, it's, personally obligatory. We need to know some basic things that every single person has to know to be able to do what you have to do. Otherwise, you can't worship Allah. But another tremendous thing that we're going to be benefiting from this class, from this term, which Sidi Imran touched upon, was inspiration. Is that you're going to, inshallah, be a benefit to yourself and a benefit to other people. Even if you don't know that much, you're not going to be able to teach a lot, but maybe you'll know certain things, or you have a certain idea, a certain way of looking at things, that will benefit people around you. And this is of the sharaf of the insan, of the tremendous nobility that Allah has given mankind. Is that Allah has in the Quran, it speaks about the tremendous trust of Tawheed and of this deen that He has given us, and it mentions that this trust of knowing Allah and of serving Allah and teaching the deen is something that befits the likes of the heavens and the earth. If you think about the size of the universe, we don't really know what's going on. The scientists will say it's like this, but Allahu A'lam. Okay, we don't really know how great the universe is. And so it's something that befits the heavens and the earth, that befits the galaxies and these kind of things, and doesn't befit a small human being like us. But in spite of that, Allah has given us this trust. Okay, and given us this because in spite of our small size and our weakness, Allah has raised us through His choice and given us something tremendous. And so we have a tremendous potential. Mankind has a tremendous potential, and unfortunately, in these days of ours, we are frequently told that we are actually just animals and we don't have a tremendous potential, and we're just an accident that happened to be there. And this is incorrect. And so people who do this, they fall into the mistake that many people fall into, which is to not know your own worth and to not know your own rank, and to not give yourself your own due. And so Allah in the Quran, after saying that this is something that should be given to the heavens and the earth, something to be tremendous, He says in fact it was given to mankind. But unfortunately mankind, إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. He was ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. And inshallah, in our Arabic, we're going to learn that we have different patterns in Arabic. And one pattern is this pattern fa'ul. And so ظَلُوم is from the word ظulm, wrongdoing. Zalim, for those who speak Urdu, you know that means someone who does people wrong to people. Zalum doesn't do things that are wrong to people. Zalum wrongs himself. Okay, Zalum is so wrong, is so bad, he actually wrongs himself. Okay, and Jahul is, Jahil is someone who is ignorant. Okay, but Jahul is someone who is ignorant of themselves. So mankind, when they don't know their own rank and they don't give themselves what's their own due, and they don't spend upon themselves which Allah has asked them to do, then they wrong themselves, and they are by being ignorant of themselves. So they don't know this tremendous rank. They don't think what the Prophet ﷺ was, and they don't aim to get there, and and if they know what it's like, they don't spend upon themselves, and they don't work, and they don't apply what they know, and they don't do these things. So they wrong themselves. So they are dhaluman jahula. They are everly, always wronging themselves and not giving themselves the due. So the tremendous rank that the potential a human being can have is to teach other people and to be of benefit to other people. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ, he continuously says, وَفَضْلُ الْعَالِمِ عَلَى الْعَابِدِ كَفَضْلِ الْقَمَرِ عَلى سَائِرِ الْكَوَاكِبِ. And he says the merit of someone who knows over the merit of someone who simply does. Are you just simply worship, not knowing what's halal, what's haram, is this the right way, is this the wrong way? He's like the merit of the moon over the rest of the planets of the night sky. And so what does this mean? On a basic level, for your level, is that on a personal level, is that if you don't know what you're doing, you do all sorts of random things. Someone asked me once, they said, well, if I put my money in a bank account to get interest, I can help the poor. Is that a good idea? So I was shocked. Someone can ask that question. But some people think that idea. If I get lots of interest is haram, it's completely forbidden, but I can benefit the poor. So is it a good idea? So someone who doesn't know, they might do that. So it's a mistake to themselves. But moreover, how is someone what's the comparison of the moon and the rest of the stars? Stars are very beautiful. Okay, inshallah, we're going to see in Amman, we do have some light pollution, but we do often see that, the stars, it's very nice. But if you have no moon and have the stars, you can look up the sky and you see the nice stars, but you don't actually know where you're going. But the moon, despite the fact that it's smaller, just as a comparison between the heavens and the earth and mankind, you are smaller, but Allah has given you something. The moon is smaller and less significant. It's just a little parasite of the earth. Okay, but yet when you have a full moon, you can actually see what you're doing. You can go where you know what you're doing. So in the darkness of the night, i.e. the darkness of ignorance, when you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to make decisions correctly, you can see this is the right way. And so this is what an alim is to other people around them. In the darkness and confusion of life, they guide people and they make things clear for you. And they arrange, they clarify things. And so this is the merit that you can have by learning, is not only you can help yourself, but even if you can't teach, you have a certain idea and a certain way of things that you can help. It's a way of looking at things that you can help other people, and you can bring ease to other people's lives, and you can bring raha, relief of iman and of belief to other people. And so this is a tremendous thing that we, inshallah, we seek not to be looked at or to be sought after, but to serve Allah through helping other people. And then he says something else which is very, very important. He says, وَإِنَّ الْعُلَمَاءَ وَرَثَةُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ, that truly the ulama are the inheritors of the prophets. And so this is an indication of how knowledge is taken through inheritance. Okay, I don't know in any inheritance law how you can, if anybody inherited from someone who lived 1,000 years ago. I don't know if anyone have any lawyers here, if that can happen. You can inherit from someone who lived 1,000 years before you. That doesn't happen. But rather you inherit from someone who lives the generation above you, and that person inherits from the person who lives the generation above you. So we have what we call in Arabic talaqi, meeting with people, being with people, and taking from them directly. And this is of the most important aspects of Islamic studies, is that we learn from people. Okay, we learn from people, and that we don't just do some research by ourselves and come up with some ideas, because this is not knowledge. This is not knowledge. Part of knowledge is how knowledge is learnt, and it's learnt from generation. And there's many other aspects here. And so the Prophet ﷺ continues. He says, so what are they actually inheriting? He says, وَإِنَّ الْأَنْبِيَاءَ لَمْ يُوَرِثُوا دِينَارًا وَلَا دِرْهَمًا وَإِنَّمَا وَرَثُوا الْعِلْمَ. And truly the prophets, what they're giving generation to generation is not wealth. It's not dinars and dirhams and yen and whatever. It's knowledge. It's actual knowledge. And so this is a key point that we need to understand, that what we're doing here is not simply interesting comments. This is what we have right here. What I'm teaching you now is not knowledge. I'm teaching you an interesting, we call it fawaid, interesting point about Islam. Okay, you can learn many interesting points about Islam from many different people, but actually to learn objective Islamic knowledge that you can say is actually categorically true and is something else. And this is what we're going to be getting in our lessons. And also you're going to have a taste of what's called knowledge. It's actually categorical knowledge, real knowledge. This is what we're going to be getting in our lessons, inshallah ta'ala, that we can actually put our finger on something and say this is correct, and other than this is not correct. Okay, this is a very important thing that we'll be learning. فَمَنْ أَخَذَهُ أَخَذَ بِحَظٍ وَافٍ. And whoever takes this and applies this and puts it into their life, knowing that, realizing the rank of the of a human being, and knowing what it's worth and what can be spent upon it, and how it can be wasted and how it cannot be learnt, and in spite of this actually applies it, he has taken a tremendous copious share of this knowledge. And if you don't do this, then you've lost and you've missed and wasted the opportunity. So with these words about fish and about knowledge and about moons and things, inshallah we've benefited something, and this gives us a slight indication of what we're trying to do in this short time we have. And so alhamdulillah, it's a karama, it's a not a karama, it's a rahmah of Allah, that Allah has only given us a month. Many of us, last year we had 2 months, but actually the shorter time we have, the better indication of a reflection it is of reality, because time is very, very, very short, and we never really have a month, we never really have a week, we never really have an hour, we only have now, and that's all we have. And so this short time, it gives us an incentive to really, go full throttle and really put our 100% into this, inshallah ta'ala. So jazakumullah khair for your listening. Jazakumullah khair.